I've been investing in startups for more than 10 years now, and over this period, I've invested in more than 50 plus companies across different sectors, from agri-tech to deep tech to consumer tech to businesses to space tech and many more. I've seen different fundraising cycles very closely. Phases where capital was easily flowing, where almost every decent founder story was able to get investor attention, to funding winters, where investors became very cautious, founders struggled to raise, and the entire market started asking many difficult questions. And now, in 2026, we are in another very different phase. On one side, AI companies are raising larger rounds and getting a lot of investor attentions. But then many people are speculating it to be a bubble. On the other side, many good businesses that are not AI first are wondering whether they will still be able to raise money. So, if you are an early stage founder trying to raise your first check this year, in this video, I will give you a roadmap to successfully raise funds in 2026 and what investors will be looking for. Now, to understand fundraising in 2026, we need to first understand what has changed. There is a common feeling amongst founders that funding has dried up, but that's not entirely true. Capital is still available, but investors are no longer interested in writing checks only because a market sounds exciting or a founder story looks super good on paper. They are looking for sharper convictions. In fact, overall, the market has matured and investors have become very choosy and selective. While most founders think investors are driven by FOMO, which might be true to some extent, but investors over time have become cautious about hype. We have seen multiple technology waves in last 10 years. SaaS, D2C, blockchain, fintech, Web3 and now AI. Investors now have seen enough cycles to understand buzzwords alone does not make it a business. This is the reason why even when AI has global hype, not all AI companies are able to raise funding. While a large part of global venture capital is moving towards AI companies, even in India, AI and deep tech startups are getting serious investor attention. But investors are not just funding the AI anymore. They are funding strong team, sharp insight, real use cases, and business that can become meaningful over time. So the fundamental still remains the same. And this is something we will discuss in depth while moving forward in this video. But the important thing to remember for founder here is don't force yourself into AI narrative if your business is not AI first. Now, one thing all founders need to understand is irrespective of funding cycles, some business fundamentals never change. Investors will always check whether you are solving a real problem, whether you clearly know your customer and market, whether there is some early validation or demand, and whether founding team has the insights and capability to build this business. These basics may sound simple, but if they are not clear, raising capitals becomes almost impossible. This is why founders should not get distracted by what is currently in hype. Whether the market is excited about AI, D2C, fintech, deep tech, or anything else, the core question remains the same. Are you solving the real problem for a real customer in a real market with a team that can really execute it? A good story may get you meetings, but fundamentals are what will help you build the trust. Now, if the fundamental remains the same, then what has actually changed in 2026 fundraising playbook? The first big change is that the execution bar has gone up. Earlier, many founders could go to investors with some validation or revenue, but today that is not enough. With AI tools, no-code tools, easier access to design, and faster prototyping, building the first version of the product has become much easier than before. This does not mean building a company has become easy. that will always remain difficult. But the cost of showing some progress has reduced drastically. So, investors are now asking a very fair question. If it has become easier and cheaper to build, what have you already done before coming to raise money? Founders now need to show that they have already taken the first few steps with limited resources. The second change is that the first check has become de-risking capital. Today, investors want to understand what risk this check will reduce. They are no longer looking at the first check as purely experimental capital or just a growth capital. They want to know whether this round will help them or help their business reduce uncertainty and become better prepared for next stages of fundraising. Earlier, if a company had raised round 1, it was often easier to raise next round. But now, every follow-on round is becoming more difficult unless the business has meaningfully reduced the risk or shown real progress. The third change is that capital has become more focused. Funding is available, but it is not flowing equally everywhere. Certain sectors and themes are getting more attention because investors already have a strong thesis around them. AI, deep tech, defense, climate, space tech, and some strong category-led businesses are attracting capital. At the same time, generic startup ideas or nice-to-have products are finding it much more difficult to raise money. Now, this may sound like I am contradicting myself because earlier I said you should not force yourself into AI narrative. But point is simple, don't chase hot sectors just because capital is flowing there. Instead, understand where your business fits, why your market matters, and why an investor should build conviction in the business now. So 2026 fundraising playbook is simple. Show execution before raise. Raise money to reduce a specific risk and understand whether your business fits a clear investor thesis. If you are preparing to raise your first check in 2026, don't just prepare a pitch deck. Prepare your clarity, prepare your proof, prepare your milestone, and most importantly, prepare a strong answer to this question: why should an investor believe in your business now? If you want to understand this better, I've also made videos on angel investing, how to reach out to investors, and key traits founders need. You can watch these videos as well because they will help you prepare better before you approach any investor. And before you leave, tell me in the comments, what are you building and what problems are you solving? I will personally go through the comments and the best 3 pitches will get invited for one-on-one mentoring session with me. So make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel and drop your pitch in the comments below. I will see you in the next one.